Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. If things look a little bit different, it's because I'm recording on my iPhone. I didn't feel like bringing my laptop and setting my camera up and all that kind of stuff. But I just wanted to give you guys a quick update on my breast MRI that I had on Monday. So you guys are all watching this on Thursday. And just to report to you guys, everything went really well. Those of you who have been following my story on YouTube and in some of my groups and on Instagram, on January, I believe it was the beginning of January, I had a mammogram because I turned 40 this year. And unfortunately, they found something in my left breast that didn't quite look normal. So they did an ultrasound and called me back for other, mammograms, and it was still showing up on the mammogram, but it was not showing up on the ultrasound. So they scheduled an MRI. And I did try to go in to have an MRI done at my local hospital, but the MRI that they had was very small. And unfortunately, when you have a breast MRI, you are laying flat on your stomach, and your breasts are literally dangling in like these two coils. So they have to raise the body up in order to get enough room for the boob to, kind of dangle there. So basically it's like fitting a person and a half in the tube. And I'm overweight and I didn't fit. So they scheduled me to actually go to Green Bay because it was the nearest location that they had at the time. And I was just kind of putting it off. And I finally, made an appointment to the Green Bay facility. And I thought about it and I thought, you know what? I am not going to Green Bay. Like, there's no way. I'm stressed out enough as it is. I'm not going to Green Bay. So I called back, and my doctor actually paired me up with a surgeon. And ironically enough, it is the same surgeon that took out my thyroid about 10 years ago. So he kind of had a little history there. And he said, Angela, you really have to have this MRI done. We really need to, get it scheduled. Well, it just so happened because, this is like 4 months later. We're already in May. So yeah, January, February, March, April, May. So like 4 months later, it just so happened that last month, a hospital in Appleton got an MRI that had the breast coils that had a wider opening. So I made the appointment, and I'm just going to kind of give you guys a little, rundown about what happened. My experience at my local hospital was not great. I went in, I was extremely anxious before they even decided to give me an IV because they need to do the contrast through IV. They wanted to take pictures before and after the contrast. She said, we need to try to see if you fit in the tube. I was extremely anxious at that point. She was feeding off of my anxiety. She was a very young girl. And the other girl that was in there, you could kind of tell, was very anxious as well. They got me on the table. My head wasn't, it just wasn't comfortable all the way around. And they were trying to like shove me in this tube. It was almost like somebody was trying to shove me back in the vagina, and I was not going. So anyway, and then you're supposed to keep your head down flat on this little like pillow area that has an opening. Literally, it was like this big. So it's like from here, and then it goes down to here. So it's like this triangle that you fit your head in, and where you're looking, like the machine is underneath you as well, because it's a tube. So literally I had this much space from my nose to the machine, and I felt like I was extremely uncomfortable, and it just wasn't working, and I was freaking out. So needless to say, they said, you know what, this isn't going to work, and you're going to have to find some other alternative. So then after that fiasco, like I said, my surgeon and his team found out that in Appleton, one of the hospitals had this new MRI machine. So okay, so I make the appointment. It was on Monday, and I go in. It's Monday afternoon after work. I'm not as anxious. I went in having different plans of action. I figured that while I was in there, I knew I was going to be in that tube for about 40 minutes. I knew they were going to be checking in on me within those 40 minutes. And I thought to myself, you know what? Let's use some meditation devices. So I practiced meditation on YouTube before any of this happened. I practiced my slow breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth, which really calmed me down a lot. Let me tell you guys, that really helped. Also, I know this is going to sound really weird. Nursery rhymes. There were 3 songs that I sang in that tube in my head. It was, oh my gosh, now let me think. I can't remember which 3 they were. They were Miss Mary Mac, all dressed in black, black, black with silver buttons. I don't know if you guys know that one, but I literally like sung it in my head over and over again, and it really did calm me. Another one was the wheels on the bus go round and round. I know you guys, this is crazy. Like I'm in daycare, so I'm constantly singing to the kids anyway, but this is something that actually worked and calmed me down. So first things first, they didn't even have me go into the tube when I got there to see if I would fit. They just knew that I was going to. So they took me into this little isolated room. It was a very calm room. The lights were dim. The lady that took me back, she was an older woman and she had such a kind face and she was very soft spoken, which really helped me a lot because I feed off of other people. I can pick up on things really easily. I can read people like a book. So I kind of felt her calmness, which again made me more calm. So there was a woman in the machine already when I got there, so I did have to wait. She had me on this reclining, little chair type thing. She asked me if I needed a warm blanket. She asked me if I needed water, if I needed to go to the bathroom, if I wanted the light on or off. And so, she just kind of left me alone and I did my heavy breathing or my soft breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. And I was like chill. I mean, I was super, super chill. So then she came back in and she started the IV, and I didn't tell her this at first, but my veins are extremely slippery and rolly, I have been told. So all that day that day and the day before, I was drinking tons and tons of water to make sure that I was completely hydrated for this whole ordeal. And, she checked on this arm and she said, I'm finding a few veins, but they're kind of coily and I don't really think we're going to choose this. She's like, let me look up here. And she did, and she didn't feel comfortable. Let me look over here. She's like, oh, I got one. She's like, this is the one we're going to choose. And I'm like, are you going to numb it for me? And she's like, no, Angela, we are not going to numb it, but I promise you everything is going to be fine. Because sometimes they do use a Novocaine solution depending on where, they inject you. So anyway, she got in right away, literally right away. She was in. She washed it out with saline solution, which kind of left a funny taste in my mouth. She did that twice because I was like spewing blood all over the place, which I normally do anyway when they start IVs. So cleaned me up, had me relax once again in the room. There was like maybe an additional 10 minutes that I was in there and I was just literally chill. Like I had a really good feeling about it. Everybody was very nice there and everybody was very calm. It was like a very serene type of thing. So they got me finally to go back into the MRI room, and I had 2 people now take me back there. The original woman who started my IV and another woman who was assisting. And they got me up on the table, and I did get a little like when I saw that little head thing, because like I said, you're laying on your stomach, you're looking down, and finally, they got me in the tube, but my back was pretty close to the upper part of the machine. So they had to put pads, like these long pads on my back to make sure that my back was not touching because the machine on top gets extremely hot. She also asked me if I had any tattoos because she said that sometimes they do use like a metal ink in the tattoos, and sometimes that can actually heat up. Now, my little tiny tattoo, I had no problem with it, nothing happened or whatever. But anyway, so they got me in there and I said, you know, my face is so close to this table underneath. She's like, oh, no worries. She's like, we're going to lift that thing. And then she also said, you know, Angela, if you feel the need to lift your head at any moment, just to kind of look around and, you know, make sure that, you know where your surroundings are and stuff, that's okay. Now, it was kind of interesting because at the other facility in my city that I went to, one of the nurses kind of snapped at me when I lifted my head up because I was so anxious. And she said, every single time you lift your head up, your boobs are going to shift and we're going to have to take you out again and redo it all over again. And I was like, shit. But this other woman said, no, you know, it's not a big deal if you do that every once in a while. And to be perfectly honest, I didn't have to lift my head. So they physically lifted the place where I, you know, put my head up a little bit. So I had more space in there to, you know, make sure that I was getting enough air, just because like when you're in a tight, you know, isolated area, you do sometimes freak out. And even if you're not claustrophobic, you can get claustrophobic. I mean, literally, I was in this tube. It was almost like going into the vagina. And then when I was done, it was like going out of the vagina. It was crazy. So anyway, so I'm in there. They give me earplugs. It is extremely noisy, even with the earplugs in. But they had like a sound speaker system and they came through and, you know, kept on checking on me, asking if I was okay, telling me how many minutes each test was going to take, telling me before they did the contrast. They hooked me up to the machine and the contrast went into me like probably in the middle or towards the end of the test. And I only felt a very cool sensation. It didn't hurt at all and it didn't burn, you know, anything like that. So that was really good. And then I had like 3 more tests, each equaling a minute. And then 1 more test after that of pictures that equaled like 5 minutes. And then I was done. I was out of there and they were so sweet. So right now I'm basically waiting for my results for my MRI. And I'm hoping that everything is going to be a-okay. If not, I'm prepared for that though as well this time. Last time I basically clumped my health issues regarding all of this along with my health issues for losing weight. And when I found all this information out, I literally freaked out so bad that I stopped eating healthy. I stopped working out. I was so stressed. I wasn't getting any sleep at night. It was really bad. I was having major anxiety, probably to the point where I could have used some medication. But I just kind of kept it all inside and I didn't say anything. And you know, yeah, I feel like things happen for a reason. And I even told the tech that I said, you know, I feel like this was meant to be. When I, you know, originally made my appointment, you guys didn't even have this machine yet. And I feel like this was the way it was supposed to go. It was just so calming. So I just wanted to keep you guys kind of up to date as to where I am health-wise. You know, I do have my Shake It Off with Angela series on Monday, but that's kind of geared more towards losing weight. This is kind of geared, I feel, this little update more as, you know, what's going on with me medically, and all of that nature. Because I know you guys have been asking, and I kind of just wanted to give you guys a real update because this is me and this is real and this is really happening. And this is happening to other people out there as well. And if I can just reach one person out there and put their mind at ease, that makes, you know, doing YouTube completely worth it. You know, it really touched me when I started doing my Shake It Off with Angela and I started really getting into it. You guys would not believe, well, you would believe because you guys did it. You guys reached out to me and said, because of you, I am walking. Because of you, I went to the gym today. I'm watching your vlog as I'm working out at the gym. And I was just like, I mean, literally, I get chills right now because I thought, wow, you know, this is like reflecting on itself because I'm working out, other people are working out, and because I'm watching people on Instagram and YouTube working out, that's motivating me to work out. So I feel like, you know, this is a community where we can all help each other out and, you know, do positive things, do positive influences, and do just, you know, share things with people that we couldn't really share, you know, out, I guess, in the real world. I mean, this is the real world, but let's face it, this is the internet. But yeah, YouTube, this is great. And please, please, please keep on commenting on my Shake It Off with Angela videos, and let me know if you guys are working out, and comment on Instagram, because it only makes me stronger. And let me tell you guys, I feel happy when I'm working out, but that anxiety in the back of my head that I might have breast cancer, that's always going to be with me until I find out. I already, you know, shared with some family members that if they do find breast cancer in any of my breasts, I'm getting them both removed. I know Angelina Jolie had done it. I don't think they actually found breast cancer in her breast, but I know she did take the DNA test to see if she had that gene, and she did have the gene, and she did get her breasts taken off. And that is something that I would do. I mean, I don't know, I would just do it. And that's my personal opinion. So sorry, I've been rambling on, but I just wanted to, like I said, update you guys and let you guys know what was happening. So leave a comment down below and let me know if you guys have had any breast scares. Men out there, you guys can share your stories too, of your wives or sisters or mothers or girlfriends or aunts or whatever. Because I feel like if we all, you know, kind of come together in this, we will definitely be stronger. So thank you guys so much for watching, and happy day. Bye, everyone.